The Chronometer of Perdition, a Chronicle of the Ashwood Estate. The clock face of the grandfather clock in the south hallway of Ashwood Estate had stopped precisely at 3:17 a.m. on April 15, 1865. It was not a mechanical failure. The meticulously maintained brass-weighted mechanism was pristine. It simply ceased, as if the very second had been cleaved from the flow of time by an unimaginable shock. The very moment the news of Abraham Lincoln's assassination reached the deepest, darkest heart of rural Louisiana. Every subsequent attempt to wind it, repair it, or even move it failed. It remained a silent, immutable monument to a pivotal second in American history. And for the next century, that minute, 3:17 a.m., would become the hour of the estate's most terrifying visitation. This is the true, if unbelievable, history of the Ashwood Estate and the spectral legacy it inherited, a chronicle of ambition, war, betrayal, and a supernatural debt paid by generations of the living. Part 1. The Genesis of Ashwood, 1840 to 1860. The story truly begins with Elias Thorne, a man carved from the ruthless timber of New England ambition and transplanted to the fertile, slave-driven soil of the antebellum South. Elias arrived in Louisiana in 1840 with nothing but a silver watch, a flawless ledger mind, and a singular consuming drive to become an aristocrat of cotton. He chose his land not for its beauty, but for its terrible convenience, a vast, forgotten tract bordering the notorious Cypress Creek swamp, known locally as the Black Lung for the noxious mists that rose from its stagnant waters. By 1850, Elias had built the estate, a hulking, four-story testament to his success, named Ashwood for the dark, imported wood of its framing and the ashes of his humble past he believed he had left behind. He owned 400 acres and 90 souls, his wealth compounding with the savage efficiency of an optimized machine. He was not a beloved master, he was an exacting, cold administrator. His most trusted servant, a man named Silas, was the only person who saw Elias not as a planter, but as a restless spirit already half gone to the grave, constantly calculating. Elias was a collector of the morbidly precise. In 1855, he commissioned the English clockmaker Thomas Farrow to build the magnificent grandfather clock. Elias demanded the clock be an instrument of absolute temporal fidelity, encased in the darkest mahogany. He placed it strategically in the south hallway, a place of passage between the formal drawing room and the private family quarters, ensuring that its constant, measured tick-tock was the heartbeat of the house. Elias's wife, Adelaide, a fragile, artistic woman from Charleston, hated the clock. "It does not mark time, Elias," she once whispered, running a hand over the cold, polished wood. "It measures our decay." Elias merely smiled. "It measures our prosperity, my dear. Every tick is a unit of labor, a second earned." The family was small: Elias, Adelaide, and their only son Jeremiah, a bookish, sensitive boy who preferred the oppressive quiet of the swamp edge to the booming formality of the house. Jeremiah was haunted by the silent grief of the enslaved population, particularly an old woman named Mabe, a healer who worked in the kitchens. Mabe did not tell ghost stories. She spoke of shadows, the moral residue of past cruelties that never truly dissipate. In 1858, a severe drought hit the region. Elias, refusing to lose a single bale of cotton, pushed his labor force past the breaking point. A young field hand, Titus, collapsed and died under the sun. That night, an unearthly, mournful sound, a deep, resonant groan that seemed to emanate from the very earth echoed across the plantation. Elias dismissed it as the wind, but Silas saw the chronometer in the south hallway and swore the shadow of the pendulum had paused for a beat. Adelaide, already weakened by a pervasive melancholia, fell terribly ill shortly after Titus's death. Mabe attended her, not with medical herbs, but with ritualistic teas meant to soothe the spirit that was trying to exit a poisoned place. It was no use. Adelaide died in the early spring of 1860. Her last words, allegedly, were a plea to Jeremiah. "Leave this place, my boy. The clock is already counting down to the final toll." Elias, stunned but pragmatic, had her buried in a small plot beneath the old oak trees, a safe distance from the house, but still within the estate. The house grew quieter, the tick of the grandfather clock more dominant, more judgmental. Elias and Jeremiah now occupied a space of profound, shared coldness, bound only by the mortgage and the cotton fields.